Testing, testing, testing. Hello. And where's the camera? There's the camera. I really like this one. Midnight Drift. Midnight Drift. Really peaceful vibes. We're just chilling here on this Wednesday. Hello and welcome to HODL Harmony, where the beat of the blockchain meets the rhythm. That rhythm of riches. I am your host, Tom Durante, the maestro, a humble crypto enthusiast who got into this wild world with a GPU mining rig back in 2020. With just a GPU mining rig and a burning passion for passive income. Yeah, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, on Cardano, on Midnight, on the world, on keyboard, and on ukulele. You can't see it over there, but it's over there. I'm bullish on all those things, but I also like taking profits with other coins when and where appropriate, if applicable. I'm just riffing. Script right here, but I'm not reading it. With my background in music, that means I play music, and my music in the background, that means there's music playing right now, and indeed there is. I bring a unique vibe to breaking down this crypto economy. Think of it as a soundtrack to your HODLing journey. Now's the part where I always mess up. Here on HODL Harmony, expect daily videos with market updates, simple technical analysis to read the charts, wallet guides to keep your coin safe, stories from my ongoing mining journey, and practical crypto tips. Whether you're new or a seasoned HODLer, I'm here to learn and grow with you. As always, I'm no expert. None of this constitutes financial advice. Do your own research. Don't trust people on the internet. This is just entertainment, basically. And education. I may be a few years ahead of you on your journey, or maybe I'm not, but I'm just here to learn and grow with you, and learning we are doing. All right, if you want to help out the channel, right off the top, if you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, a couple of things I'll ask of you. Number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, smash the subscribe. Number 3, poke the notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out new content. Number 4, share the show with everyone you know. That'll help us grow. Faux show. All right, let's get into it. That's enough. I got my butter coffee right here. Butter espresso, excuse me. All right, so let's get into our midday market update. HODL Harmony fam, and we'll find the harmony in HODLing together. So midday update. BTC is range bound near 76,000. Majors mixed. Volatility selective. So our market snapshot. I just gotta pull up my window. There we go. Market snapshot here. We've got Bitcoin at $75,797. Flat over the day, flat over the week. Ethereum is sitting at $2,273. Flat over the day, down 1% on the week. XRP is $1.36. Flat on the day, down 3%, almost 4% on the week. Solana, $83. Flat on the week. Down almost 3%, flat on the day, down almost 3% on the week. And ADA, 24 cents, down 1% on the day, down 1.2% on the week. All right, our top 5 gainers today. We've got Rain token, up 6%, Dogecoin, up 4.2%. Just token, JST ticker, 3.7% up. Morpho token, up 3.6%. Aster, ASTER, up 2.8%. Top losers, Providence, the hash ticker, down 11%. World Liberty Financial, down 10%. DEXA, DEXE, down 9%. Memecore, just M, down 7%, and Sky down 6%. All right, our breaking news, or just, I don't know about breaking, but just popular news stories today. Here's what's happened in crypto today. What? That's the name of the title of the story. It says, here's what happened in crypto today, Cointelegraph. That's the story. Why it mattered. It highlights potential stress points in token economics. Okay, so this is just, I think it just pulled, this is a weird one, sorry. It just pulled a story and then it's telling me the highlights of that story. But the story is, here's what happened in crypto today. So that's what happened. In token economics, flow quality that can impact intraday risk. I'm sure it's given me a link down here. Let's see. Cointelegraph. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, let's move on here. Let's see if the other ones came out right. Could just be an error in my workflow here. All right, Polymarket. This looks like a real story. Polymarket eyes U.S. return for crypto exchange as lone CFTC. That's the Commodities Futures and Trading Commission. CFTC. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure didn't we just look that up yesterday? TC. Yep. CFTC. It's literally still open. Commodities Future Trading Commission. I hope that's what I just said. So the CFTC chair weighs approval for Polymarket. Why this matters, it adds context for institutional positioning and potential derivatives-driven volatility. All right, KuCoin EU, that's Europe, the European Union, hires new AML, anti-money laundering chief after Austria ban on new businesses under MiCA. Why it matters. It can signal policy or macro catalysts that rotate capital between majors and alts. All right, number 4, Visa adds Base, Polygon, Canton, Arc, and Tempo to stablecoin settlement program. Why this matters, it surfaces fast-moving narratives that can spill over to correlated assets. And finally, MoonPay buys crypto security firm Sodot in a $100 million push into the U.S. into institutional crypto. Why it matters, it helps frame headline risk into the U.S. afternoon session. And thank you for the comment. Alrighty, so today's fear and greed index is 26. And like I said, I think we're coming up out of that fear and greed. We're coming out of fear and greed. I keep saying that. Bitcoin daily transactions, we are, it looks like it's 5% up. Doesn't say up or down, it just says 5% from period start. The daily transactions. Bitcoin difficulty adjustment is in 61 hours. Projected change is to go down by 3% difficulty. I'll have to take a look at that. All right, we have a crypto trivia. Guess the crypto trivia project. From the bottom 50. We missed our weekly report this week. I apologize for that, but that would have been our top 50. But now, dailies, we're looking at the bottom 50. All right, so guess the crypto project. This asset currently sits, I gotta redo these, but it's okay. This asset currently sits around 82 by market cap. And its 24-hour move is approximately 3.7%. And basically, this is just a test to see if you're even paying attention to what I'm saying. Yeah. Because usually it pulls it from the stuff that I already said. So this is just your test. This is like, the check-in that the teacher does during class to see if you're listening. Oh, by the way, what was on page 37? Anyway, so I wanted to look at something. Let's see. I do have my buttons. Is it gonna work? Hey, it worked. That's not the window I want to show you. That's the commodities, features, trading, and all of that good stuff. Where are we at? Let's go to the correct one. That's not it either. That's the one. There it is. Okay, so I did want to show you something. So we talked yesterday. This is the 1 hour. So 24 hours ago, we were sitting around here. Right? What is that? Tuesday. Yeah. So we were sitting about here. And I think some of the candles looked like they were starting to go up at that point too. So we didn't play out like that, but we did. So yesterday's TA. This is just really interesting how it does kind of keep up and maintain. It's good. Like I'm seeing something that I'm learning and then applying it the next day is what's happening right now. So if you remember, and I don't have to because I have the script. So if you remember from yesterday's technical analysis technique of the day, we talked about defining the trend, waiting for the structure to break, don't enter on the first break candle. We didn't even get that far, but we'll get there. Enter only if the retest holds, and then if it goes invalidated, ignore it. And then first target, scale partials, and all that good stuff. So what I was getting at here is if we do this here, we look at that little trend line right there. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. So this was our trend was a downward movements, trying to break through, just a downward. Let me draw a line here so you guys don't have to imagine what I'm talking about. There we go. Trend line. Oops. Well, we'll do that and then we'll move it. There you go. So that's my trend line right there. Basically, I'm going to touch these wicks. So we hit that, dropped, try to get it, dropped, try to get it again, and then just kept dropping. So what happens here? There we go. All right, so now you can see clearly without me just pretending that you look at my little line there and I can move my mouse. Okay, so we had our trend line. And then this was the most recent low. So we attempted to hit it, got rejected. Attempted to break through and got rejected. So we never got to the point where we closed above it. So it says, wait for the structure to break. Do not enter on the first break candle. Well, if you were waiting for an entry for a long, this would have been a perfect invalidation. Boop. Just sit on the sidelines, do nothing, just wait. Okay, so that's what we learned yesterday. Let's see what we got to learn today. Is it going to delete? Yeah, okay. Boom and boom. Okay, so today's technical analysis technique of the day. I'm pretty sure we talked about this. The RSI momentum oscillator that compares recent average gains and losses on a 1 through 100 scale. I'm pretty sure we talked about this. Why it matters. It helps avoid chasing late moves by identifying momentum strength versus exhaustion. So step by step, and it's got a different format, so I'm just going to go through it again. I think we did talk about this. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure we did. But since the last time we talked about this, I've expanded on how my agent is having me describe this. So it's got a little bit more in-depth analysis here. So set the RSI to 14 on your execution time frame. 1 hour intraday, 4-hour swings. So let's see. Set the RSI. Let's get rid of, we need to get rid of this one. Because I think it's going to go on the bottom there. Relative strength index, look at that. Okay, so we're looking at 57. The RSI 14. There we are. So set RSI 14 on your execution time frame. 1 hour. That's what we're looking at. Mark zones. Above 70 is overextended. Below 30 is oversold. 40 to 60 is neutral. So we are right within neutral territory. We are not overextended and we are not oversold. And this is just in the hour. So you can see we hit here, what is this? Yeah, 30. So we basically hit oversold and then we rotated back out. We have not broken through. Where is this? Oh, you know what? I think, yeah. Okay, so the moving average is the yellow one. I'm sorry. So yeah, we did go down into oversold. What was this? 24. And then we did get into 70. So that would be overextended. And now we're sitting here about 32. 32 is in the oversold territory. Okay, look at that dramatic drop that we've had. So moving averages move a little bit slower than the actual numbers of these things. So that's why we see the rounded out shapes rather than the jagged movements and things like that. So we hit overextended. Now we're immediately dropped to oversold. This is what we call volatility. So now pair the RSI with price structure. Okay, I'm assuming that's what this is, price structure. So I'm going to just read through the instructions here and we'll make sense of it. So set the RSI 14 on your execution time frame. 1 hour intraday or 4 hour swings. Let's just take a look at that real quick and I'll keep reading. 4 hour swings for swing trading. Mark zones above 70, overextended, below 30 is oversold, and 40 to 60 is neutral, transitioning. Pair the RSI with the price structure. Look for long reclaims near support and short rejections near resistance. Wait for candle close confirmation before your entries. I think that's the important tip that keeps coming back, is wait for the candle close confirmation. You don't just jump in when something's happening, wait for it to confirm, because there are people with more money than you who can see all the order books. Okay, and we'll take a look at that. Maybe I'll have it show me something specifically for that next time. But they can see the order books. They know where your stop losses are. They know where your take profits are. And so they're going to manipulate the market until the government passes a law that says that they can't. Hello, Congress. Okay, so pair the RSI, wait for the candle close, and then you define your stop and risk size before taking the trade. All very, very good advice. So live application with the majors mixed. When it says majors, that just means like the big, like blue chip cryptos and things like that. With the majors mixed and range bound, RSI confirmation supports selective entries instead of momentum chasing. Common mistakes: treating the RSI alone as a signal, fading strong trends too early, and ignoring higher time frame bias. Ignoring the higher time frame. So zoom out. If you're on the 5 minutes, if you're on the 1 minute, you can't rely on that data. It's interesting to look at if you're trying to do short-term swing trading, okay, but all of this still applies on the short term. But when you zoom out, you see the bigger picture and you see the bigger structure, because you could zoom into the 1 minute and see a green candle, but if you zoom out, it's in a downward trend or whatever. You know, it's not the same. You got to look out, zoom out a little bit. Okay, ignoring, yeah. So 30-second drill. Check the 1 hour RSI on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Sol. Label each as strong, neutral, weak, and write one if-then entry condition. If-then. So if this, then this. You know, and you have to do these for yourself. I'm not trading. I'm just looking at these. I just want to learn some technical analysis stuff. So this is what this is all about. Let's go back to the 1 hour. We can see we're in a downward trend. So 4 hour, it just kind of compresses the information. 2 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, same thing, just looks a little bit longer. You're getting zoomed into the specific data. And now, oh wow, look, we're in an uptrend. Yeah, okay, maybe it's turning around. We're pretty neutral on the 1 minute, but these swings are just so big. So here, okay, we are overextended on the 15 minutes. So in the short term, yeah, I think we'll probably come back up here and swing up to oversold and then swing back down. That's what it does. It's an oscillator, moving back and forth. All right, let's look at our other two here. Very similar situation. We're approaching oversold, overextended. What was the word? Yeah, oversold, overextended. So we're approaching oversold. Let's check in one more thing here and then we'll call it a day. Similar story. Moving its way down. Look at that beautiful sine wave. All right. Well, I think that'll about do it. Nothing too much interesting going on. I'm just trying to check in and check out and see what we got going on. Again, right in my budget here, trying to be about a half an hour. So there we are. So midday is mixed. Bitcoin is range bound near 76,000. Great time to dollar cost average, because that's really the winner here. You know, if you're trying to trade and chase all these profits, you're not going to win every time. But if you dollar cost average, or if you mine, you know, every day you get a little bit of money if you mine. You're trading your dollars for Bitcoin or whatever currency you want to mine. You can mine Dogecoin, you can mine Ethereum Classic, you can do all kinds of stuff. I'm a Bitcoin miner, and I also take my chances with the Bitcoin lottery. So actually, yeah, we'll check in on that. My node humming along. So you can see all these things. These are just transactions. You can check them out. I can go to insights here, check out the blocks. You can see the block rewards and then the fees. So the subsidy is always 3 1/8 Bitcoin, but the fees are what you also get on top of that. So you can see the bright orange on top of the subsidy. So this subsidy is what gets cut in half during the halvings. So next time we're going to see it get cut directly in half. So we'll get 1 1.5 or something? One and probably 3/4, I think. Something like that. A little bit over 1.5. 1 2/3, we'll say. Something like that. Yeah, it'll probably be 1.6 because we're at 3.125. I'm not great at math, but these are kind of fractions, and I'm almost good at fractions. So it should be a little bit over 1.5, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, that's the block subsidy, but what we want to increase over time is the amount of fees in each block, because as the Bitcoin subsidy drops, the fees should increase because usage and adoption should increase. So that's what we want to see. We want to see that little tiny sliver on top get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that would incentivize more people to be mining Bitcoin. So that's eventually when we run out of subsidy, because we will, I think in 2140. I don't know if I'll be around to see that. I hope so. In some, alternate form. I don't know. But when that does happen, Bitcoin will be sustained solely by transaction fees. Okay. You know what I need to do? Maybe on the weeklies, weekly reports, we will crack open a book and start looking at some of the readings and the writings of Satoshi, because it's always really interesting. I'm going to pick that book up as soon as we're done here. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it's really interesting to see what he thought and how he envisioned things. So we'll get into that. All right, so the block size is supposed to be pretty stable here. So look at that, it's only 2 megabytes. And goes up and down. It fluctuates based on the transactions and what's in there. Median fee rate. So you get all this information. This is all coming right from the block, basically. And these are all my connections. Interesting. Blockchain size 840. Huh. I wonder, there must be extra data on top of that, because I remember I downloaded it and it's like 930. But anyway, if you want to run a node, get yourself Umbrel. If you have an old computer, you can install Umbrel. You download an ISO. Looks like I got an update to do. You download an ISO, you flash it, and away you go. You got yourself the Bitcoin blockchain. I highly encourage you to do that. Look at that beautiful thing. Look at that beautiful thing. That's a healthy block right there. That's what that is. And you can see all the transactions trickling in. You click on them. You don't even click on them. You just hover over them. If you do click on them, you can see all the information about them. So this is just on my computer. This is the Bitcoin blockchain. So this is what we're talking about when we say everything that happens on Bitcoin is transparent. It's on a blockchain. It's on a ledger. I can look at that bright pink dot and be like, what the heck? Why did they pay such an exorbitant fee? 133 sats per VVite. And this down here is only 7. So they obviously really want this transaction to go through. You can see these are really, really high feed transactions. So I'm just like, why is that such a high fee? They're sending 0.03 Bitcoin. Is that maybe 4,000 or so? It's easier to calculate when you're thinking of like 100,000. So it's probably like a little less than a couple thousand. I don't know what that is. Sats to, no, Bitcoin to dollars. Bitcoin. I have that much Bitcoin. You're not helping. Oh, yes, you are. I'm just stupid. Yeah, so you probably just watched me do that 3 times and ignore that. Okay, so it's about right. A little bit less than 3,000. There it is. So a little bit less than $3,000. They paid a fee. Let's see how much they paid. $11 for a fee to send $3,000. That's not too bad. It's not too bad, but they really wanted it to get through, so they overpaid their fee. To like, boom, it's in a block. It's got one confirmation. This is the block that's done. And so we're seeing all the transactions come into the new blocks. Total value, $95. 28,000. Did it do that for that? Yes, it did. Look at that. So it gave me the value there. So it's just all this information is available, and you can go back to previous blocks. Be like, okay, what was I'm just curious looking at the blocks. $52, $101,000. Look how easy it is to send 1 Bitcoin. I wish I could just send 1 Bitcoin around. Man, 1.3 Bitcoin, and they paid a fee. Look at that. To send $100,000, they spent maybe a couple bucks. $7.50. $7.50 to send a 1.3 Bitcoin. $101,000. Only cost $7 to send. That's pretty cool. 1.5 million. What is this? 19 Bitcoin. It's just really cool to look at this stuff just because. Just because. And so I could look at this address here, or let's look at this address here. Can we? Oh, it's truncated. Transaction. I can look this transaction up. So you do a little searching. You can say, now I got to go to I should be able to do this on my Block Explorer. But it doesn't usually work for me. So let's go to here. Sorry, I hate that. And then we will paste in our transaction that we just found. We'll look it up. Bitcoin transaction. There's 2 confirmations. Hash ID. I mean, this is what I mean. This is all, yeah, $1.5 million. We can see this guy's wallet. So he just emptied the whole wallet? 19 Bitcoin. What was in the wallet? Oh, here. Total received 7,000 Bitcoin. $500 million. Total volume. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's $1 billion right there. That says $1 billion. Wow. This address. And look, like, if this was my wallet, would you want somebody to know all this information about you? I don't know. Maybe it's a company. Who knows? Maybe it's MicroStrategy. This address has transacted 586 times on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's received a total of 7,000 Bitcoin. It's received a total. Okay, it's received. And they've all gone right back out, basically. It's received a total of 7,000 Bitcoin, $530 million, and has sent a total of 6,991 Bitcoin. So they kept some, obviously. A significant amount, like, was it 10 or 20 Bitcoin, something like that. More than I'll ever have, probably. Total of 6,991 Bitcoin, total of $529 million. The current value of this address is 19. So look at that, 20 Bitcoin. Man, I'm getting better at math. 19.8 Bitcoin, total of $1.5 million. So this is some serious transacting going on. And this is just like, I can just see it because it's public. And that's what Bitcoin's all about. Putting things out publicly, anonymously, but publicly. Like, you could do some digging and figure out whose wallets, all these things are. But it's all public. It's meant to be that way. Interesting. But this is a healthy block. So we'll do some more forensic analysis and look into some more Bitcoin stuff. But for now, I think that is it. That is what we call a day, ladies and gents. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being a part of this journey. And I will keep up the epic content. But that's enough for today. And a little bit, I love looking at the blockchain, so that's just one of my things. So anyway, if you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, a couple of things I will ask of you. Number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, smash the subscribe. Number 3, poke the notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out new content. Number 4, share the show with everyone you know. That'll help us grow. Faux show. If you want to help out humanity in our mission of evolution, there's a couple of things that I will ask of you. Number 1, be kind to yourself. The person in the mirror is truly the one you should look out for the most. Because once you do that, you can help other people, and that's totally fine. Number 2, be respectful of other people, even if you think they don't deserve it. It's just a good thing to do. Number 3, be excellent to all earthlings, big and small. Number 4, your body is mostly coffee today, with a little bit of butter, espresso, and get your daily dose and stay caffeinated. If you've done all those things, and I know you haven't, that's okay, I forgive you this time. If you've done all those things, there's only one thing left for you to do. Other than vibing, have a good day. Get out. It's a sunshiny day. There's literally, I have all the dragonflies. I have all of them. Couldn't possibly be anywhere else because they're all out here. And that's great because I don't want mosquitoes. And that's a natural way to get rid of them. So it's time for me to get out and mow my lawn. I'd say touch grass, and I would go mow the lawn barefoot, which I think I've probably done. At least I've done it in sandals, because seriously, this is Florida. And yes, be excellent to each other, yes. Wild stallion! So, this is Florida, and I've definitely mowed the lawn in my flip-flops before, and I still got all my toes. So, what can we say? Get out, touch some grass. It's a beautiful sunshiny day. There's some clouds out there. But anyway, there's only one thing left for you to do. If you've done all those things for the multiverse, for the universe, for the galaxy itself, for the solar system and the planet. And now that we're back down to Earth, for your country, your community, your city, your block, your street, your house, your room, the most important thing that you should do for all the people that have been included in all of those realms is have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. We're just gonna leave it on the blockchain.